Okay, now let's look at how we use Facebook to drive traffic to our blog. Now, sometimes students say to me that they don't like Facebook, they'd rather not use Facebook, and do we need it? Well, the truth is that there is no bigger traffic source. And by not using it, you really are doing yourself a disservice. You're not going to be able to connect with all the people that you would be able to connect with, i.e. the audience, the people who want to read your blog, want to come to your blog, and will ultimately be many of the people who help you to make money from your blog by purchasing either directly from your blog if you're selling your own products, or by clicking through to affiliate offers and purchasing affiliate products. So by not using Facebook, you are really limiting yourself. All right, now the first thing to do is to create a page. You can't do anything unless you have a page associated with your blog. So on the menu, click on Create. Now the page you want to get to is this page here, Create a Page. If your Facebook account happens to look different to mine, and that's possible, it also looks different on different devices. I'm on desktop. If you're on mobile, it's going to look different. You've just got to look around until you find what you need. And what you're looking for is create a page. It's going to be business or brand, as opposed to community or public figure, probably. Now you need to think about this, but in most cases it's going to be business or brand. So click on Get Started and give your page a name. Normally this is going to be the name of your blog. Add a category to describe your page. Now very often you're going to need to choose blogger because there's not always a category here that's going to be relevant to the topic of your blog. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose blogger. Continue. All right, upload a profile picture. This is normally going to be your logo. Now it's possible that my logo isn't going to be big enough. Facebook hasn't given me a notice or a message to say that it's too small, but I might have to make it bigger, go to Canva and just create a bigger one. Otherwise it might be a bit pixelated, but let's see. Upload a cover photo. I'm going to use the header image from the blog. All right, well, it looks like I've uploaded the wrong logo here because this is the one that I originally created that had a watermark on it. So I'll change that in a moment. And for some reason the cover has not uploaded. I'm going to try that again. Okay, it's working now. All right, I'm going to leave it like that. At the moment, at some point, it's a good idea to create an image, a cover image for your Facebook page that is just unique just for your Facebook page. But to get started, you can just use any image that you have already. So in this case, I'm using my header image from the blog. And the next thing to do is to add a short description to let people know what your page is about. And the limit here is 255 characters. Make sure nothing's cut off. Save. Edit page info. Phone number. My page doesn't have a phone number. A website. Here you can enter your blog. Email. My page doesn't have an email. You can enter your email here if you want to. So the email that you've set up for your blog. But on Facebook, people normally just send messages. They don't normally use the email address. Untick has street address. And gender, you don't have to put anything here. You can leave it unspecified. It's not even relevant to my blog. It may be relevant to your blog if it's a personal blog, but you don't need to put anything in there. Privacy policy. Now here's where you can enter the link to the privacy policy on your blog. Now let's make sure we save all the changes. Okay, now the next thing to do is to go to settings, page visibility, page published. If you ever want to unpublish, you can do that. Click on edit. Visitor posts. Anyone can publish to the page. I recommend yes, you leave it as is. Newsfeed audience and visibility for posts. The ability to narrow the audience for newsfeed and limit visibility on your posts is turned off. and I recommend that you do leave it off. You don't really want to limit that. Post sharing to stories is on. People can contact my page privately. I recommend you leave that because if you edit this and change it, people won't be able to send messages via Facebook. Tagging ability, only people who manage my page can tag photos posted on it. Yep, leave that as is, I recommend. Others tagging this page. People and other pages can tag my page, yes. Page location for effects, yes. Country restrictions. Now, do you want to limit your page so that only people from certain countries can view it? You may want to do this. It really does depend. If your blog is of the nature that it is really only relevant to people in a certain country, you may want to do this. My blog is really only relevant to people in the UK. So in this case, I could limit visibility to just the UK. I'm not going to do it because I am not in the UK. And if I do that, I won't be able to view my own page. But I'm sure you get the point. Age restrictions. If you have any age restrictions, if your page is not suitable for below 13s or below 18s, you can do that there. Change it. Page moderation. Do you want to block any words from your page? So if you want to block obscenities, you would type the words in here. There's also a profanity filter. If you turn that on, it will block certain words, but there are some issues with that because there are certain words that have more than one meaning, and one of the meanings is profane, but the other is not. So just be careful. If you want to turn that on, just be aware of that. All right, now this one and this one, I recommend you just leave those. Post in multiple languages. Now, the ability to write posts in multiple languages is turned off by default, but if you want people to be able to make posts in other languages, you have to turn that on. And if it's turned on, you can also have automatic translation. Comment ranking, most recent comments are shown on my page by default. That would be the correct way to do things. And everything else here just fine. If you want to delete your page, you can just delete it right here. Okay, under messaging, set up how people message your page. Now the general settings, just the regular default settings, are usually perfectly okay. But if you want to change anything, such as use the return key to send messages, I never like to have that on because usually I use the return key to create a space. So I'd end up sending messages before I was ready to send them. But anyway, you have some options here. And you have the response assistant. That can be pretty good. You can set up automated responses for when people send you messages. All right, and page info, we've been through that already. Now there's nothing else here that I really need to show you. If you want to know more, you can click on each of these tabs and check them out. Okay, now in the next lesson, we're going to add some content to the page. So I'll see you there.